to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how I fill in my eyebrows, and I'll be showing you my brow routine. I'm going to be showing you what products I use, and also showing and sharing some techniques that I use to fill in my eyebrows. I think it's quite simple, but you know, for some of you who don't really necessarily fill your brows in every day or don't know how to fill in your brows, this would be a great video for men and women that just need help with filling their brows in. And the products that I'll be using are from Benefit Cosmetics. It is from their latest brow collection. Most of the products are waterproof and they're just really rich, buttery, smooth texture. They have just a really nice finish. And the colors are 1 through 6, so they are numbered. The colors are in numerical order from 1 to 6. 1 being the lightest, 6 being the darkest. And my preference is 4. My preference is 5. 4 is a little bit too red for me, but I like the 5 because it's like a deep brown, but it still has that red tint to it. And then 6 is definitely more cool tone. I use Browvo, which is their brow conditioning primer. I'll be demoing Kabrow, their brow gel, and I'll be showing you how to apply one of their pencils, which is the Precisely pencil. I'll also be using their Brow Zings kit, the powder from the Brow Zings kit. I have their angled spoolie brush. I'll be demoing that for you as well. So I'll be showing you quite a bit of variety and different techniques on how you can use those brow products, and I'll be showing you how I apply brow pencil on one eyebrow, and then I'll be showing you how I apply a product with a brow brush on the other eyebrow. Okay, so the first product that I'm going to use is the Kabrow. It is Benefit waterproof brow gel. Comes with the brush and the cap. The brush is nicely angled. It's a pretty good firm brush, and I think it blends the brow gel beautifully. And this is really form-fitting to your hand. You just literally dip that in. Now, since I have the Benefit angled and spoolie brush, I'm just gonna go ahead and use this brush. I'm going to use my spoolie and just kind of brush my brow hairs up. I did use the brow primer this morning. I normally use the brow primer at night, but I used it this morning. So it went ahead and dried. And I have the number 5, by the way, in this product. So I'm just literally gonna tap. This stuff is very pigmented, so you don't need much. So I'm literally just gonna tap. So with your brows, you have an A point, which is your starting point, your B point, and your C. And I like to start in between my A and my B point when I'm applying especially a brow gel or a brow powder, because typically they can come off pretty harsh and your brows naturally are lighter here and then they gradually get darker. So you always want to start like somewhere in the middle. You never want to start here because it'll just be it just won't look as natural as possible. And that's the key when you're doing makeup. You want it to look natural. You don't want it to look very harsh. So I'm gonna go ahead and start in between my A and my B. And I'm just lightly tapping and I'm going back in. And I like my brows to look really natural, so I don't start heavy-handed. And it's also the amount of pressure. Like, you want to make sure you're putting light pressure, because the heavy-handed you are with it, the more unnatural it's gonna look. So you see now it's filling in nicely, and I just love the finish of this product. It really just gives a really beautiful finish. So now I'm gonna, like I've started in the middle, I'm gonna go a little bit forward and bring that excess product that's already on the brush forward. And really, when you're filling your brows in, you don't want to do anything crazy. You just kind of want to follow how your brows naturally are. So you can see the difference between this one and that one. You just want to follow how your brows naturally are. So a lot of times I think some women, they have trouble filling in their brows because they don't have a shape, or their shape is not very defined. Some women have naturally defined brows, but there's some women that just don't. And so I suggest you get your brows shaped, and then that way when you go home to fill your brows in, when you're doing your makeup and you're filling your brows in, that you have them shaped and mapped out already to be filled in. So now I'm gonna go ahead and fill in my tail, and I'm using I forgot to mention, I am using the flat side. You know, I'm making sure that that is flat. I don't like my tails to be super duper defined and arched, so I'm a little bit more light-handed when I do my tails. You know, I want that definition, I want that shape and that outline, but I don't want it so heavily filled in. And that's the kind of brow look that I usually go for. So there you go. That's just showing you how I use the Kabrow. That's on one side of my face, and then this side you can see the difference between, you know, a brow that's filled in and then my brow that's not. So, and I love this color. I think it fits me. I love the formula. I've had this number 5 for a while, and I feel like I haven't even put a dent in this product. So I highly recommend the Kabrow. Now I'm gonna show you how I would use a brow powder over top the Brow Zings, because this has a brow powder, and I do like to use a brow powder sometimes on top of my Kabrow, just to give my brow a little bit more oomph and just a little bit more fullness, like when I'm going out or when I'm doing an event. Like, I definitely will put a brow powder on top of when I fill in with a brow pencil or my Kabrow. Even though the Kabrow, I think, suffices enough. Like, it just gives, like, you can really build a Kabrow to like the most boldest brow ever, but sometimes I just like to be extra and put brow powder on, just because I like the finish of it. So I'm gonna use this brow powder here. It's like a warm kind of a brown tone, and I'm just gonna use this with actually this little angle brush here, because I don't like to get brow powder on my other brush. And I'm just really gonna focus the brow powder like right here in the front of my brow. I am gonna put the brow powder all throughout, and I'm literally just tapping. I'm just gonna tap, and then just fill in just like one light layer. And you'll be surprised how a brow powder over top of like a pomade and a brow gel, honestly, it just sets it nicely, and I feel like it makes it look even more natural. And I'm just kind of following, just with a light hand, just following my natural arch. So I threaded my brows last night. I thread them and then I'll tweeze them. I don't wax because I use really harsh, I don't wax my brows because I use really harsh skincare and my skin would lift. I just tweeze them. So I'm in the mirror every day. I'm like obsessed with my brows, so I'm in the mirror every day just kind of maintaining them and cleaning them up. Not necessarily in the shape, but just getting the straggly hairs. So now I'm gonna go ahead and use a pencil. I'm going to use the Precisely pencil, and this is a waterproof pencil again. And it's actually the smallest tip, and this is in the number 5 as well, and I like this color too. Now, this has this spoolie at the end, so you can just kind of brush them up. You don't have to start in the middle of your A and B point, but you just want to keep a light hand, and I'm literally just gonna fill in how my brows are naturally, just right underneath the hair, and just with like light strokes. So yeah, this is their waterproof pencil, and I just like this pencil because it gives you have way more control with this pencil. And I like to take my time on my brows, so as you can tell. So this allows you to do that. The other pencil is a nice pencil. I just kind of use that if I'm in a rush and I don't really have time to fill them in like I would like to. That's a really good pencil for like moms or like people that they like to sleep in and they, you know, don't really want to be as particular. The other pencil's good, but this is going to give you great definition, and it's just good for people who like to be more precise, hence the name Precisely. The Goof Proof pencil, Yeah, the Goof Proof pencil is nice too. It gives off a lot of product, so if you're somebody who just, you know, you like to sleep in, you don't have a lot of time in the morning, you know, you get a lot more product at the end here than you do the Precisely. See, you get a lot more product here, and the product comes up, you just twist it and it is retractable, versus this one. Okay, so you can see these two ends. So this one is the wider tip, and then this one is the more smaller precise tip. So this one you're getting way more product. You're getting way more product with this end. It's gonna cause you less time to fill in your brows. I like to take my time on my brows, but like I said, if I'm in a rush and you know, just wanna throw my brows on, this is a good one to have. But if you just, you know, you want to create little hair-like strokes and you want to be more particular and artistic with your brows, this is a good pencil too. So my brows are done. This side was the side with the Kabrow, the waterproof brow gel with the Brow Zings powder on top, and then this side is the waterproof Precisely pencil. They both really look similar. There are some differences. If you want to use a pencil but you want your brow to look like this, you just would have to apply more product. So I'm also going to apply my brow powder, just a little bit of my brow powder to my Precisely side, so you guys can see. And I really like to use brow powder. My favorite place to use brow powder is more so in the front, but just with the light hand. But I do follow that rule of, you know, starting in the middle and then bringing it forward. But as long as you use just a little by little product and just kind of tap, I feel like you'll definitely notice a difference in how your brow makeup comes out. Another thing to keep in mind is that you can get a lot of uses out of using a spoolie. So like after, say, you fill your brows in with the pencil, you can, if you maybe got a little bit too heavy-handed and the lines look harsh that you created in your brow, you can just blend it out and it will give a softer look. So a softer, more natural look. So that's pretty typical for what women do with the spoolie. They use it, it's mostly often used after they apply their brow product to blend it out. So the brow primer is supposed to also enhance the wear and color of your brow product. Since it's a conditioner, I love to use this at night because I feel like it does give my brows like a nice shine. One of the benefits I find of using this in the morning is that it kind of acts as like a brow gel, so you can use this to brush through your brow hairs, because you know when you wake up in the morning your brows can be all over the place. So this is a good product to use to kind of groom your brows and get your brows all in alignment before you actually put your brow product on. So yes, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, you can leave them down in the comments below, and I hope you learned something. I hope I helped you out with filling in those brows. I hope you're slaying. The key things to remember when filling your brows is just using a light hand, starting off with a little bit of product at a time and then building. And then the third thing, when you're starting on your brows, you want to start like in the middle. You never really want to start at the beginning of your brow, because a lot of time you can be heavy-handed, and so you always just want to keep that in mind. Start out, be so harsh when you're filling in your brows in the beginning, and then you can gradually get darker, because that's naturally how your brows are anyway. So you just kind of want to mimic the look of your brows. So yeah, subscribe to my channel. I'll be coming out with more videos soon, makeup videos and hair videos. Follow me on Instagram at Egypt.b. I try to do my blog thing on there and just different things that I'm into. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.